What happened in Vegas last night? Not staying in Vegas. We are talking about it. Could the Raiders be surprise contenders this season? The Dallas Cowboys did not ask a whole lot out of Zeke in Week 1. Can they rely on him all season long now? And the GOAT, Tom Brady. What was this? Was he trolling the Falcons ahead of their Week 2 matchup down in Tampa? I don't know. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First alongside Nick and Broussard and Kevin Wilds. I'm Jenna Wolf. Wilds, your guy, Thomas Edward, Patrick Brady. This seemed innocent to me. I didn't see anything wrong with this. He was just doing a little social media post.
I am not buying the trolling. It's supposed to be a little Easter egg in there from his social media team. I'm not buying it at all, Jenna. The GOAT doesn't need to troll anybody.
Do not, because he's not selling it. He is not selling it. All right, we will get to that in a second. We got to start, though. Oh, what a game. Raiders, Ravens last night picked this one up in overtime. Tied at 27, 3rd and 7 for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson was trying to escape the pocket, but Carl Nassib punching the ball out. Raiders recover and take over. 2 plays later, Derek Carr just going for it to a wide-open Zay Jones for the walk-off win. Vegas trailed 14-0 at one point. Vegas tied the game 3 times in the 4th quarter, and then somehow, some way, the Raiders rallying for the overtime win. After the game, though, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson on what went wrong.
Any loss you have gonna be tough, working so hard all season to prepare for a team and come down to overtime and we lose. But my team played great though, so just gotta keep building, keep stacking, keep getting better every day. We'll be fine, but that loss hurt. We gotta move on quick. Everybody hate losing. The whole team hate losing. The coaching staff hate losing. Our cafeteria guys hate losing. Manny and Shorty, those guys hate losing as well. They're part of the team. It's gonna be a quick turnaround though. We got the Chiefs Sunday. We just played Monday night, so we gotta get ready.
So full disclosure, we all jump on our morning meeting and Nick jumps on and he goes, Lamar was the story last night. So Nick, let me start there. How much blame does Lamar deserve for this loss?
Well, a lot of it, and it's not, I know everyone's going to focus on the 2 fumbles late, particularly the one in overtime after the Ravens got a semi-miraculous goal line stand that ended in an interception. But that's not why I'm putting so much responsibility on Lamar. And I get it. If you stayed up and watched the game, you're saying, hey, Lamar drove him down the field. They kicked what should have been the game-winning field goal. If the defense could have just stopped Derek Carr and company from going 50 yards in 30 seconds. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is this. Lamar Jackson is a league MVP who needs to get better at a very specific part of his game. The accuracy on his passes that are not in the right middle of the field, intermediate distance. All the other passes are spraying all over the place. And it's only 1 game, but right now he looks like the same passer that he's been from his rookie season. And yeah, that was a good enough passer to win league MVP. And he had one, we'll show it to you later, unbelievable play last night that ended in a touchdown pass. But what is putting a ceiling on the Ravens is Lamar's inability to just slightly improve the accuracy. And last night, I looked at it and said, okay, year 4, let's see. And the opening results are not encouraging. I can almost, Broussard, deal with the fumbles because he's asked to do so much more as a runner than any other quarterback in league history. There's going to be some negative. There's going to be some downside to that. But he's got to get better with his precision passing. It does not appear that he has. And that, to me, is as big of a reason as any that the Ravens lost last night.
I'll give you that he didn't show much improvement in his passing game, Nick, no doubt about it. Although the pass to Sammy Watkins, the 46-yarder, was a great pass. But I'm not going to put most of the blame on Lamar because he mentioned the fumbles, obviously, in the postgame, and he said he's got to do a better job of keeping 2 hands on the ball when he was under pressure. Then guess what? He would have had 2 hands on the ball all night long. That's the problem. He was under duress, Nick. Their best offense for a lot of that game was Lamar making lemonade out of lemons. I mean, Lamar under duress, being pressured and scrambling for big yardage, or even on the touchdown pass to put him up 14-0, he scrambled. Most quarterbacks in the league could not have made that play because he ran for his life. It got away from the pressure and then found Hollywood Brown in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. He was sacked 3 times, Nick.
Play.
He was pressured on 18 of his 33 dropbacks. And so the offensive line didn't give him much time. And you showed some of the highlights. Yes, he missed a throw on the sidelines where he wasn't pressured. He definitely had his moments where he threw the ball badly. But I'm putting more of it on the offensive line that didn't protect him. And as you mentioned, the defense. This is supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. They couldn't get pressure on Derek Carr even when they blitzed. So Carr throws for over 300 yards after halftime. And then, as you mentioned, they're up 3 with 37 seconds left, and they give up a 20-yard pass and an 18-yard pass on back-to-back plays to put the Raiders in field goal position. So I'm going to put most of it on the defense they couldn't hold and the offensive line that had Lamar running for his life most of the game, more so than on Lamar.
Okay, looks like Wilds gets the fumbles then to blame, because if Nick is blaming the accuracy, you're blaming the offensive line. There is the real reason. The actual reason in the story of this game is the fumbles. And there is a thin line between doing too much and making it happen, and the Ravens' offensive philosophy makes Lamar live on that line. And occasionally, they're going to get burned. My biggest issue, Nick, is this. It's not the accuracy. It's not the offensive line. It's the fact that the Ravens brass and the NFL media in general treat Lamar like he's indestructible. And he's a guy who hasn't gotten the big contract. And when you see him get hit with the first fumble that he loses and he lands on his head, it's like, he lost the fumble. And then when he loses the second fumble, he's laying flat. He's more disappointed. But the first thing I thought was, is Lamar hurt? The fact that the Ravens are encouraging Lamar to put himself in jeopardy when he's landing on his head, to me, is baffling. Tua, against the Patriots, had a funky slide. He kind of slid awkwardly. And it was like, you can't do that. You got to learn to get down. Meanwhile, Lamar is throwing his body around, and just because he's occasionally successful, everyone says it's okay. If I was Lamar, I'd be like, you know what? I listened to first things first. I've decided I'm going to put a cap on how much I'm running and how many hits I'm going to take. I don't have my big contract.
Well, then he's
nothing is promised in the future. To me, it's insane.
Wilds, but then what makes him special?
But your point and my point actually line up directly. The reason he can't do that is because he's not accurate as a passer. The reason he has to be a magician, and if you're saying Lamar's only going to run a half dozen times a game, well, then he's no longer a great quarterback. Like, let me show you. Broussard mentioned the past Sammy Watkins, but take that out. Aside from that, here are his 2 best plays of the game, I think. One was one we just showed. The touchdown to Hollywood Brown, it's what he does before the touchdown that you're like, oh, my God.
Right.
Is there any other quarterback in the league that can make this play? And that's why you love him. And on the drive that should have been the game-winning drive, if the defense could have held up in the final 35 seconds, this play right here, is there another quarterback that gets 30 yards from this spot? The answer is no, because they go down. Wilds, what you're encouraging is go down at that first, where you make the first guy miss slide, right? Because that's what most quarterbacks would do. The problem for Lamar is, this right now is where he adds, because he takes a huge hit there. This is where he adds the most value. And it's because he has not improved enough as a passer. And the Lamar Jackson conversation, and Jenna, you've heard me say this, probably 25 times over the last couple of years, but I'm going to say it again. It's a frustrating one to me, Broussard, because it feels like everyone's on one of the extremes. Either they have been wrong on Lamar from the very beginning and don't want to admit it, or they patronize him and act like he shouldn't be improving in year 4. He should be. It's somewhere in the middle. He's obviously a quarterback. He's obviously an excellent quarterback. There's not 10 guys in the league better than him. There might not be 6 guys in the league better than him. But his single limitation is such a glaring one that the fact that it doesn't seem to be getting better, if you're a Ravens fan, has to massively concern you, because he does spray the ball all over the field, and that almost forces him into having to make these dynamic running plays, which make him susceptible to the shots Wilds is worried about. And with those shots is going to come fumbles. When you're his build, if you're running like a running back but not built like a running back, he's a big quarterback, but he's not built like a running back, you're going to fumble the ball sometimes.
And how about this for the Ravens? John Harbaugh was 81-0 after holding a 14-point lead, which the Ravens had last night, of course, before last night happened. We'll flip to the other side. Yep, talk the Vegas side of this game. How should Raider Nation feel after what was a thrilling win to start the season? We are in it. First things first, back after this.